Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the April 8th, 2024 Lackawanna City Council meeting. We always start with a caucus at 6:30 to be followed with the regular meeting as soon as the caucus is over. And again, for informational purposes, the caucus is used by the City Council to review and discuss and debate to an extent any of the individual agenda items, which we will go over now. Voting will take place at the regular meeting after the caucus. To that end, all the items up to departmental reports 1 and 2 are administrative. So we'll start with communications from division/department heads. From our city controller, request City Council approve an ordinance to increase the funds budgeted to the equipment budget line as requested by Senior Foreman Dan Gherkin. The purpose is to purchase a cat snow blower attachment, cost $78,934. Linda, is there anything further on that? I know we approved that earlier and it's just a transfer of the monies.
Exactly.
Thank you. Any council members have any questions or issues on item number 3? If not, there's an appropriate and an attached ordinance to that for later consideration. And item number 4 from Director Laxo, Parks and Recreation, request City Council approve use of Veterans Stadium by Lackawanna Little Football June 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 2024 from 4:30 to 7:30. Insurance is attached. Director Laxo, anything you want to add on that?
No, they just wanted to run a skills and drills academy for a weekend. They already had valid insurance and it doesn't have any scheduling conflicts, so good on my end.
Thank you. Council members have any issues with or comments on item number 4? Moving on to item number 5, City Attorney, Director of Development and Marketing, request City Council approve an ordinance amending Section 75 of the City Code, parentheses, Building Code Administration, and parentheses. This is needed for Chapter 75 to procedurally concur with the new Cannabis Order, Chapter 93. As many of you know, remember we, thanks to the hard work of the City Attorney and Chuck Clark from many departments that he heads, and as well as code enforcement individuals who put the map together, we do now have a very comprehensive and an effective ordinance regulating the sale of cannabis and use of cannabis in the city. And to that end, the request is to amend Chapter 75 to include this procedure. Either John Gunn, our city attorney, or Chuck Clark, or Director of Development, if either of you care to augment that, you're welcome to do that at this point.
No, sir, you've hit it right on the head. It's really just making sure that all those special use permit caveats that were in the ordinance that you passed are now reflected in the building code sections.
Great, thank you. John, anything else?
Nothing to add.
Very good, and there's a corresponding ordinance attached there too, thank you. Item number 6 from our Fire Chief, Jim Pino, request City Council approve the purchase of a used fire engine to replace engine 33, a 1996 Spartan pumper. The cost of the used fire engine is in the amount of $20,000 and we purchased from St. Johnsburg Fire Company. Funds are available in the emergency equipment budget line. Fire Chief is also requesting to sell engine 33 and if it cannot be sold, to scrap the fire engine. Chief, anything you want to add on that?
This is just, engine 33 is a truck that the city had bought new back in 1996. Currently it needs approximately between $25,000 and $30,000 to make the repairs that are necessary to, so it would pass New York State inspection and so that the pump could be certified. The truck that I'm requesting to buy is from a volunteer company in Tonawanda. It has less than 20,000 miles. It has no mechanical issues, well maintained, and it serves the purpose as a reserve fire truck it has no mechanical issues, so it would be a step above where we are right now.
Okay, thank you. Any of the council members have any questions or any items on that, item number 6?
Yeah. Jim, how many miles are on 33?
The odometer is broke. It's got, I would have to say it's got to be at least 100,000 miles on it.
100,000.
It's got almost 7,000 engine hours on it. And put that in perspective, our engine 3 has approximately 2,500 engine hours and roughly about 30 to between almost 40,000 miles on it.
I think I drove it about 100,000 miles when I was on it. Okay.
Well, that's why we needed more.
Yeah, I know. Did you find a few more of these? The more the merrier. That's a great deal.
It's a good deal. We can't, the issue is they can't be, I mean, we'll use them in a reserve. They're, as much as they're up to standards, they're lacking a little bit, but for us as a reserve, it would be a good deal.
Excellent.
Very good. Anyone else, council members, have any comments on item number 6? Okay, thank you, Chief. Moving on to item number 7, Senior Foreman, Public Works, request City Council approve purchase of a new Kubota tractor with grass cutting deck from a No Tractor Company, New York State contract, no bid required. Cost is $31,420.50. Funds will be taken from the equipment budget line. Dan, anything you want to add on this?
No, just the DPW is trying just to update their fleet. We have 2 tractors. One's a 1981 John Deere, the other is a 1997 New Holland tractor. They're both on borrowed time. I'm just trying to update our fleet.
And the question that's begged at this point in
Yes,
time
sir.
is, we just awarded a contract for grass cutting
Yes, sir.
for an outside contractor. Why do we need this?
So the Department of Public Works, we cut 59 city-owned lots. That's on top of the grass cutting contractor. So 59 lots is a decent amount of grass to take care of.
Thank
Was
you.
that a brush hog like?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The deck?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Any other council members have any questions or comments on item number 7? Thank you, Dan. Moving on to item number 8, Director of Development and Marketing, Chuck Clark, requests City Council approval regarding the following rezoning action: open space to neighborhood commercial, 264 Ridge Road, and the neighboring vacant lot. This request is to correctly zone 264 Ridge Road and also to correctly zone the adjacent lot for development. And Chuck, if I'm not mistaken, I recall a conversation where that has been somehow was zoned green space and therefore it limits what the property can be used for. There may be some interest in that property.
That is correct. Not only the vacant lot, but, and again, not to go back and pick a scab on a delicate subject in the city's history, but the building of the Commons, the Ridge Commons apartment complex, was done improperly because it is built on an open space lot. So at the time, they should have, the powers that be should have rezoned that property to the appropriate zoning area. So the request is to fix the lot that the apartment complex sits on and to appropriately position the remaining 2.5 acre open lot for redevelopment.
Okay, thank you. Any council members have any questions of Director Clark on that?
Yes, if I may, as long as we're talking about it, is this property, I'm pretty sure it's been all soil sampled and all that, cores and all that?
It
stuff?
had, excuse me, it has.
Yeah, I remember that.
So as part of the city's, forgive me for having my back turned.
Yeah.
As part of the city's EPA brownfield grant, we tested the open 2.5 acre parcel.
Right.
And that included surface water, scratch soil samples and deep soil samples. And there is no contamination on that site of substance except one small area in the northwest corner where they believe an appendage of the old Moses Taylor Hospital used to be. Wow. And anybody who would develop on that would be required to satisfy that to the satisfaction of the DEC. But the level of contamination in that small spot is not worthy of a brownfield, is not eligible for a brownfield, but nonetheless would need to be addressed and cleaned up. Other than that, for all intents and purposes, the land is shovel ready to go.
All right, thank you. I just wanted to bring that up, so.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, moving on to item number 9. This is more appropriately an item for the general meeting, the formal city council meeting, where we will take a vote as per the city attorney's request, John Gonn's request, to enter executive session to deal with the controller office personnel issue. we will consider that at that time. Moving on, communication from citizens, item number 10. Anwar Al-Khalai, President Lackawanna Islamic Mosque, requests City Council approve a temporary closure of Wilkes-Barre Street from Pearl Street to Wilson Street on either April 9th or April 10th from 7 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. in observance of Eid prayer. This gathering is in celebration of the end of Ramadan. Since this is based on the lunar calendar, you will not know until 8 p.m. on Monday, April 8th, if the observance will be on the 9th or the 10th. There was a question as to, it was brought up regarding accessibility for emergency vehicles. I did call Anwar Al-Khalai and ask him to either get back to me or to Director Morocco about that issue. And I haven't gotten a call back, have you?
No.
Okay. All right, I'm at a loss as to how to proceed with that then.
So would there be law enforcement present during those 3 hours of closure to allow accessibility in the event of an emergency?
There is a request for police presence, yeah.
Yeah, I think that would remedy it. I guess, so I did speak with members of the mosque in regards to the specific request. It gets very gridlocked on the morning of prayer for Eid. And since the expansion of the mosque, normally it would be at the Hyatt or at the Adams Mark Hotel. So parking on Wilkes-Barre wasn't an issue in the past. And then in the previous years, it was warm enough where they would have the congregation set up at the soccer field. So Wilkes-Barre wasn't as problematic during that time because there was no Eid prayer. But based on our own knowledge of how gridlocked it becomes during Friday prayers, which would only be compounded on the holiday, and because now the building is, the occupancy is now bigger to host. So to avoid any of that, it was discussed to have certain parts of Wilkes-Barre closed off, but public safety is paramount to everything. Allowing, whether it's people coming in and out to go to work or to have emergency vehicles coming through, it trumps anything. So would it be possible to have it where, since law enforcement will be present, for them to allow accessibility for emergency vehicles especially?
So will the question then becomes, will there be parking, vehicles parked on those streets?
No, well, only vehicles that are already housed there for residents that live there. But to allow extra, the whole point is to avoid anyone from getting onto Wilkes-Barre to park their cars there and have them sedimentary for the whole 2 or 3 hours during service. That's to avoid anybody from blocking anybody's parking lot or to have that traffic front and present on Wilkes-Barre, especially between Wilson and Pearl Street. But of course, people that live on the street or park there and need to exit, they should be allowed to exit or come home. So it's not to provide any special parking privileges for those attending prayer, absolutely not.
I guess that answers the question. Director Morocco, do you have any questions or any concerns after that?
Well, as long as that stays that way, that you don't get the parking on that would be perfect. Captain, you got anything to add?
I have nothing to add.
No? So that would work if that's gonna be the case, but just making sure people can get in and out of their driveways, whether they're coming from work, going to work type of thing, or whatever they may be doing, that it's open enough so that they don't have a problem throughout that time frame.
Requested a police presence, you'll see that takes place?
I will speak to Chief Packard, and we'll make sure we have something down there. It may not be somebody dedicated to that, but we'll be in the area.
Okay.
And the date has been confirmed, it will be on Wednesday.
So that'll be the 10th.
I'm sorry?
The 10th?
Yes.
Yeah, the schools announced it, right?
Yeah. And then there will be also announcements made at the mosque from today till the Eid prayer, that those who are either walk, carpool, or park your cars on the adjacent streets, whether it be behind on Holland and the side streets, or Washington, Pearl, and so on, and then you can walk to the mosque. So that they're trying to do as much as they can to avoid traffic entering that specific area.
What about people who need to be dropped off?
So that would be, they would probably have to drop them off as close as possible, which would be at the entrances of Washington, Pearl Street, and so on. So specifically for the elderly,
Yeah.
probably behind on Holland, they would have to make accommodations for them to be priority at the closest entrances, but I don't know if they would be able to access as far as entering to the space.
You may have to make Chief Packard and whoever's assigned there, all the officers aware that there may be this need also, so to accommodate the elderly and disabled possibly.
Okay.
Anything else, any other?
No, I think like you mentioned, you're gonna need a dedicated crew down there.
Yeah.
You're not, you know what I mean? Otherwise, people are just gonna park all over.
Yeah. Okay,
I'll talk to Chief.
yeah,
See what-
definitely. All right, any other issues on item number 10? If not, moving on to item number 11 from Wade Turner, President Lackawanna Youth Empowerment Program, Inc. Request City Council approve closing of Odell Street between Ingham Avenue and Wilmouth on Saturday, June 1st, 2024. States of Lackawanna, be held from 12 noon to 8 p.m. I think I may have missed one of my, since they started. And if you don't go down there and sample the food, then I feel sorry for you. It's a wonderful time. It's good to see neighbors and people you haven't talked to in a long time, so it's a great gathering, great reunion.
Yeah, I agree. Wade Turner does a great job in organizing that, and people look forward to it. It's like the kickstart to summer.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. Bundy Royster was a big part of that too, and he was still alive, God rest his soul. So, okay, anyone else have anything to contribute on item number 11? If not, let's move on to the entertainment licenses. In reviewing the applicants, there were some issues in the past regarding some of the applicants. Further compounding the problem, I think, is the structure of our application. Currently, the application really doesn't differentiate between indoor music and outdoor music, and it seems to be the outdoor music that causes the biggest problems, whether it be mechanical outdoor music or live outdoor music. Furthermore, I believe the form is a standard form that allows outdoor music till like 4 a.m., whether it's live or mechanical, and personally, I have a problem with that. While it's not the intention of the council to hinder any businesses, still, the businesses have to be good neighbors. And I have gotten numerous calls regarding one establishment in the past. That was supposed to be rectified. I believe a communication was sent to that establishment. Never received anything back regarding changing the application or what would be done to remedy the music. And this stage was, their stage for live music, outdoor music, was abutted the homes in that neighborhood in the backyard of this particular establishment. And furthermore, I drove by there, it was a problem volume-wise. Furthermore, I could hear it from my house off of South Park. And this was quite a distance away. So if there's a way to get some clarification as to what's being requested here, I don't know, maybe tabling it until we can get a better and a more accurate application, or possibly setting some parameters as a condition for okaying the license today. That's my opinion.
Right.
I don't know how the rest of you feel.
We just stipulate music indoors? Indoor music, like, can we stipulate that when we pass it, or I don't know if we have to?
I think you could stipulate indoor music and maybe add the qualifier.
Live music. I mean.
Carl suggested having them come back to the council if they want to have something outdoors.
I swear we used to do that before they'd have to come and, I remember voting on it a while. If
So-
they had something live band outside, they had to come and get a special permit. I don't know.
So with the city ordinance already established, already set as default for outdoor music, because it can't go past a certain hour anyways. So even if this was presented in a fashion of them requesting for indoor or outdoor, don't they still have to abide by the city ordinance?
Well, I think, I have to look at the ordinance myself.
Okay.
I think the ordinance says 4 AM.
Oh, it's 11 o'clock.
I don't remember, I'd have to look.
It's 11. It's 11.
Like, especially like across the street, it was
Is
11
it?
o'clock.
City ordinance, yeah.
Is it 11?
Loud music after 11.
Yeah, even just for regular residents that are having a birthday party in
Sure.
their yard, would fall under.
That's the regular noise ordinance.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, whatever your thoughts are on that. Do you want to go forward with this as it is right now? Have a further regular meeting? Do you want a table? Do you want work to be done on the application so that we get some clarification, coordinating that with what's on the code books?
Well, we have the ability to pull their license if they don't.
Not if they're abiding.
Not their license, I believe, you mean just this
This part,
aspect,
yeah.
the
The permit?
Yeah.
But if they are within the operating parameters of the permit, how can you pull it?
So when we, for instance, if we pass this today, what is the information that is then given to the business owners?
I
What
think-
does that look like?
I think we have to decide, first of all, indoor versus outdoor, mechanical versus live music.
Okay,
And then what is the cutoff time for the live, for mechanical or outdoor, mechanical or live outdoor music? Should that be allowed? Or should we allow just indoor mechanical and live music? If they want outdoor applications, they gotta come back for a permit. That's kind of,
I think we need to read the ordinance first and scrutinize it, what we like and what we don't like it, and maybe we can add to it too. If they're habitual, then, like Carl said, you just can't do it anymore. And I don't think there's any difference between live and mechanical, the same amount of noise. The noise level is gonna be probably equal, if there's a party outside or yippee-yi and tie and stuff, but, you don't wanna tell them. I think we table it until we see exactly what the ordinance says. We can assume, but we don't have the answers. That's my view on it.
yeah. All right, want to consider that, or, anyone's welcome to make a motion or otherwise. But I think this whole issue needs to be gotten under control once and for all.
I have no problem tabling it, but in the meantime, will we amend our application also, so we don't have
Yeah.
this
I
question?
think it's got to be clarified in the application. Not only that, I think we have to look at their business application to determine if they put anything on their business applications when those were approved, as to whether or not they would have live music, indoor or outdoor, because some of their applications may have had that included in their business license request, which supersedes, which takes precedence, right? John, anything on that?
I'm not prepared to answer that right here, but obviously if there's a conflict in you know, both, whether it's applications or application for a permit, that's a problem. So I would have to look at both, how they, you know, exactly what you just said, and see what their business registration states, and then go from there, and then see what permits they're requesting, sort of as a subdivision under the business registration.
Carl?
You wanted to say?
Yeah, under the application, it does have the ordinance there, and it does say 11 a.m. or 11 p.m.
Yeah, that's what I was just reading.
Yeah,
But that's for
It has the ordinance
live
number.
music. It says mechanical must cease at 4 AM, but that's indoor.
That's indoor.
That's referring to indoors.
okay, well, it doesn't say that here, does it?
I know, but it doesn't specifically say that.
Yeah, that's why I think we need to clarify.
Right, right.
Okay, well, maybe the best thing to do is to table it. All right. All right, unless
Mr.
there's
Council
any-
President, before you move on, maybe we
Yes.
go back to number 8 for just a second.
um,
The 264, the rezoning.
yes,
One thing I forgot to mention to you, so if the council decides that they're in agreement with the rezoning action, I just want to make the council aware that state law requires that we have to hold a public hearing on the matter. So the action would be you agree, and the first step would be a public meeting before you would get an ordinance to vote on.
Okay.
But state law does require that.
I'm sorry, before I lose my train of thought, President Morano, on the, back to the entertainment portion of our discussion, on the very bottom, it says permission for outdoor entertainment must be submitted separately to the council for approval. So I guess that kind of puts us in another bind, not necessarily, but it does, their understanding for this application is for indoor, or did they want to do outdoor as well? Because it clearly says separate for outdoor.
yeah, it says that, but I don't know what the ordinance says, and I would like perhaps to get it all coordinated once for all, so that
So would
everyone's
we,
clear when they come in to apply.
would we be reaching out to them and asking what were their intentions? So then they have a better understanding of what they requested?
I think we're gonna have to do that once we know what we're doing.
Okay, okay, fair enough.
All right, anything else? If not, I will formally call to order the April 8th, 2024 Lackawanna City Council meeting. Start with the pledge of allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The city clerk, call the roll.
Maflahe? Present. Anderson?
Here.
Moretti?
Here.
Sirdike?
Here.
Morano?
Here.
Law?
Here.
Development and Marketing?
Here.
Public Works?
Here.
Public Safety?
Here.
Comptroller? Here. Recreation?
Here.
Carries from citizens?
John Ingram?
I wrote my book. Johnny Ingram, 25 Church Street. Y'all was talking about the entertainment license for the businesses. I remember being here where like the Ice House had to act, when they first asked for live entertainment, they were told 11 o'clock. I remember that specifically, that they were told that it was in order, so they could have live entertainment, but at 11 o'clock they had to shut down or whatever, completely on that. I remember that clearly. My question, I think Ms. McCarthy answered my question very well. When we were talking about the traffic for the streets, whatever, my only concern, I agree how the miles is handling it is very well, way better than what we have, because it will get congested. We remember, myself, former councilman, how cars could get through, emergency vehicles can get through. But we also have to remember on the side streets, those residents there too, that when they come home from work and stuff like that, or they're going to work and stuff like that, I think they need to be, make sure they're informed so they know that, hey, this is gonna be this time is gonna be very busy and stuff like that. I think it's just consideration for those folks that live there. And I think you'll get more cooperation for from everybody around that area. I think the mosque is doing a good job of trying to make sure that everybody is aware of what's going on. And just like we respect all other religions, we must give them the same opportunity, but they must make sure everybody's considered when we're doing something like that. And maybe, some of the church leaders can make announcements because they got stuff going on. Some got tomorrow, maybe they can make announcements too, so everybody can be aware, so there don't be no real big fuss about it. You know what I'm saying? I think it's gonna be, I have a friend of mine, he can't wait so he can drink his coffee. He ain't been, so he's going crazy. Another thing I wanna say a public thank you to the DPW, Public Safety Director, police for across the street, the bus signs, to put this, for the buses to pull through. When I spoke on it last time at the council meeting, by no means I would be disparaging to the police officers, whatever. And if this came out like that, let me publicly apologize. You know what I'm saying? I have great respect for the officers in blue because they do a lot of work and they risk their lives every day. But I was so thankful that the quickness that it came along with putting that no parking there for the buses. And those bus drivers told me to tell you thank you. Thank you so much because it means a lot. There's a lot of better safety issues for the seniors, the young folks, anybody in there. Again, that's all I want to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you, John. Yeah, and in regards to the mosque, I think Councilmember Muflahi and her discussions with the council or whomever from the mosque, they're making every attempt to coordinate this so that it has the least impact on the community as possible. We appreciate that.
This would be the first Eid prayer at the mosque since it's been renovated.
Yeah.
So they're gonna learn a lot on Wednesday. It's not gonna be 100%. They're on a learning curve, but they do have to make the appropriate steps. They have to take the appropriate steps to make sure that people are able to enter and exit their property without any type of being impeded on. So hopefully all goes well.
Yeah, thank you. All right,
Ready?
ready.
Approval of the minutes of the special meeting of March 13th, 2024, and the regular meeting of March 27th, 2024.
Random moves to adopt minutes.
Anderson seconds.
Motion by Morano, second by Anderson to adopt minutes of the special meeting of March 13th, 2024, and the regular meeting of March 27th, 2024 as written. Maflahe?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirdike?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carried 5-0. Approval of departmental reports 1 and 2.
Random moves to receive and file department reports 1 and 2, please.
Ready, second.
Motion by Morano, second by Moretti to receive and file departmental reports 1 and 2. Maflahe?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirdike?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carried 5-0. City Comptroller requests City Council approve an ordinance to increase the funds budgeted to the equipment budget line as requested by Senior Foreman Dan Gherkin. The purpose is to purchase a cat snow blower attachment. Cost is $78,934.
Random moves to receive and file act on ordinance.
Maflahe seconds.
Motion by Morano, second by Maflahe to receive and file act on ordinance. Maflahe?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirdike?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carried 5-0. An ordinance amending the 2023-2024 budget ordinances, increasing the equipment budget line in the amount of $78,934 to purchase a cat snow blower attachment. This amount will be transferred from the contingent account budget line.
Random moves to adopt ordinance as written.
Maflahe seconds.
Motion by Morano, second by Maflahe to adopt ordinance as written. Maflahe?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirdike?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carried 5-0. Director of Parks and Recreation requests the City Council approve the use of Veterans Stadium by Lackawanna Little League Football on June 22nd, 23rd, and 24th of 2024 from 4:30 PM to 7:30 PM. Insurance is attached.
Morano moves to approve request.
Anderson seconds.
Motion by Morano, second by Anderson to approve request. Maflahe?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirdike? Morano?
Yes.
Carried 5-0. City Attorney and Director of Development and Marketing request the City Council approve an ordinance amending Section 75 of the City Code, Building Code Administration. This is needed for Chapter 75 to procedurally concur with the new cannabis ordinance, Chapter 93.
Morano moves to receive and file act on ordinance.
Second, Sirdike.
Motion by Morano, second by Sirdike to receive and file act on ordinance. Maflahe?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirdike?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carried 5-0. An ordinance amending Section 75-20, application for special use permit. Section 75-21, referral of applications to zoning and planning boards. And Section 75-23, revocation of special permits, all part of Chapter 75 of the Municipal Code.
Morano moves to adopt ordinance as written.
Second, Sirdike.
Motion by Morano, second by Sirdike to adopt ordinance as written. Maflahe?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirdike?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carried 5-0. Fire Chief requests the City Council approve the purchase of a used fire engine to replace engine 33, a 1996 Spartan pumper. The cost of the used fire engine is in the amount of $20,000 and will be purchased from St. Johnsburg Fire Company. Funds are available in the emergency equipment budget line. The fire chief is also requesting to sell engine 33, and if it cannot be sold, to scrap the fire engine.
Morano moves to approve request.
Moretti, second.
Motion by Morano, second by Moretti to approve request. Maflahe?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirdike?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carried 5-0. Senior Foreman of Public Works requests the City Council approve the purchase of a new Kubota tractor with grass cutting deck from Monroe Tractor Company. It's a New York State contract, no bid is required. The cost is $31,420.50. Funds will be taken from the equipment budget line.
Morano moves to approve request.
Anderson seconds.
Motion by Morano, second by Anderson to approve request. Maflahe?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirdike?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carried 5-0. Director of Development and Marketing requests City Council's approval regarding the following rezoning action: open space or neighborhood commercial at 264 Ridge Road and the neighboring vacant lot. The request is to correctly zone 264 Ridge Road and also correctly zone the adjacent lot for redevelopment.
Morano moves to approve request forward for public hearing.
Maflahe seconds.
Motion by Morano, second by Maflahe to approve request. I'm sorry, what the?
Forward for public hearing.
Forward for public hearing. Maflahe?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirdike?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carried 5-0. Request to enter into executive session to discuss the following: City Attorney executive session, Controller's Office personnel issue.
Morano moves to enter into executive session pursuant to Public Officers Law, Section 105, subsection 1AH. The item to be discussed is Controller's Office personnel issue, and I would ask that the council consider inviting Mayor Iafallo, who is present at tonight's meeting, to attend this executive session.
Second, Sirdike.
Motion by Morano, second by Sirdike to enter into executive session. Maflahe?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirdike?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carried 5-0.
Okay, we need to clear the council chambers. Okay, good evening again, everyone. Welcome back. We were in executive session. Executive session started at 7:11 PM and ended at 7:42 PM. There were no minutes taken since there were no votes or action taken at that time. However, we will proceed with a recommendation and action accordingly once our city clerk takes the roll.
Maflahe?
Present.
Anderson?
Here.
Moretti?
Here.
Sirdike?
Present.
Morano?
Here.
Law Department?
Here.
Adjourn executive session.
Morano so moves.
Anderson's.
Motion by Morano, second by Anderson to adjourn executive session. Maflahe?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirdike?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carried 5-0. Communications from citizens.
Before we proceed, I would ask any of the council members who may wish the floor at this time to make an appropriate motion based on the recommendation and the information that was imparted to us during the executive session. Or I can do my best to make the motion.
I make the motion to retain CTBK. I don't have the exact name of the firm currently with me, but the firm CTBK for outsourcing accounting services to assist the comptroller's office as well as the treasurer's office.
Morano seconds.
Okay. Motion by Morano.
No.
Oh, sorry.
Motion by Muflahi, seconded by Morano, to retain the firm of Shampo, Travis, Besaw, and Kirshner, LLP Accounting Services,
To assist the comptroller's office
to assist.
and treasurer's office.
Motion by Maflahe, second by Morano to retain CTBK outsourcing accounting services to help the comptroller's office and the treasurer's office. Maflahe?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirdike?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carried 5-0. Communications from citizens. Anwar Al-Khalai, President, Lackawanna Islamic Mosque, requests the City Council approve a temporary closure of Wilkes-Barre Street from Pearl Street to Wilson Street on April 10th from 7 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. in observance of Eid prayer. This gathering is in celebration of the end of Ramadan. Since this is I have to read that. Motion.
Morano moves to approve request, refer to Public Safety and Public Works.
Maflahe seconds.
Motion by Morano, second by Maflahe to approve request, refer to Public Safety and Public Works. Maflahe?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirdike?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carried 5-0. Wade Turner, President, Lackawanna Youth Empowerment Program, requests the City Council approve the closing of Odell Street between Ingham Avenue and Wilmeth on Saturday, June 1st, 2024 for the Taste of Lackawanna. It will be held from 12 p.m. until 8 p.m.
Morano moves to approve request, refer to Public Safety and Public Works.
Maflahe seconds.
Motion by Morano, second by Maflahe to approve request, refer to Public Safety and Public Works. Maflahe?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirdike?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carried 5-0. Class 1 live music and/or mechanical reproductions, 1 through 4. Restaurant, Sunny Reds. The Villa Banquet Hall, the Poorhouse Sports Bar, Steel City Pub.
Morano moves to table said applications pending investigation and updating of our applications and review of the business licenses together with the appropriate ordinances governing noise and said establishments.
Second. Sirdike.
Motion by Morano, second by Sirdike, to table 1 through 4 Class 1 entertainment licenses pending further information, updating applications, and review of business licenses and ordinances.
Moretti second?
Uh,
Somebody second?
No, I need to do the
Oh, I'm sorry.
Muflahi?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirdike?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carried 5-0.
All right, are there any table item or old business, council members? If not, before we adjourn, our city controller is leaving us, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank Linda Hibicki. Linda, you were really a pleasure to work with. You're very dedicated, very professional, well-educated in your profession. You were an asset and a credit to the city while you were here. We're sorry to see you go. We wish you well in your new endeavors, and we know you'll be a continued success. So on behalf of the city council and the people of the city of Lackawanna, we thank you, Linda.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Unless there's anything further, Morano moves to adjourn.
Moretti second.
Motion by Morano, second by Moretti to adjourn meeting. Muflahi?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Moretti?
Yes.
Sirdike?
Yes.
Morano?
Yes.
Carried 5-0.
Thank you, everyone.